So, welcome back, all of you, to the biology online classes. So, we were studying about the life process respiration, isn't it? So, respiration, I told, it includes two phases, you can see, isn't it? The process by which the air is taken in, and using that oxygen in the air, the food will be oxidized in each of the cells, and during this oxidation carbon dioxide is produced as a byproduct, and this should be expelled. So this process where the air is intaken is called inhalation, and the process whereby the carbon dioxide is expelled out is called the exhalation. This two process includes what, or that this two process together we call as the breathing process, isn't it? So breathing is what, the process where the inhalation and exhalation of gases, that includes what, the process of breathing. After inhalation, so do you think in inhalation only oxygen is inhaled? No, the atmospheric air which contains all the mixture of gases is inhaled. Okay, and after inhalation only oxygen is used for what, the process of cellular respiration or for the oxidation of food, and this takes place inside the cells. And then the carbon dioxide which is produced as a byproduct will be expelled out, and this is taking place, okay, with the help of certain system in our body, and that is known as the respiratory system. Okay, so respiratory system helps in the exchange of gases or in the process of breathing. Is it clear? So, we are going to study about the human respiratory system. Okay, the human respiratory system consists of various parts like, okay, nostrils, they are the openings of the nose. Then you can see the next is nasal cavity. Okay, nasal cavity, this is the nasal cavity. And then to the pharynx, which is the common region for both respiratory system and for the digestive system. Okay, and then you can see it leads to a part known as larynx. Okay, larynx is the sound box where the sound is produced in the body, isn't it? We can produce sound due to the vocal cords which are present in the larynx. Is it clear? Then next is what, the trachea. It's a long tube which is made up of some cartilaginous rings. Okay, C-shaped cartilaginous rings which are present in the trachea, which prevents the collapse of trachea even when there is no air. Okay, this trachea divides into two cavities. So I was explaining about the various parts of human respiratory system. So this is what, okay, the nostril, the opening of the nose, and that leads to a nasal cavity, okay, just above the buccal cavity, and then it leads to a long tube. Have you seen? This is known as trachea. Okay, and this here you can see a pharynx. Okay, pharynx is the common place for respiratory system and for the digestive system. Okay, so nostrils, nasal cavity, that leads to a pharynx. Then from the pharynx you can see that what, a long tube. That long tube is known as trachea. Trachea is made up of cartilaginous rings, okay, which helps to prevent the collapse even when there is no air in the trachea. Okay, C-shaped cartilaginous. Cartilage, have you studied bones and cartilage? So C-shaped cartilaginous rings are there. Okay, and on the top of this trachea there is another structure known as larynx. Clear? So this larynx is also known as the sound box, where there are some vocal cords. The vibration of this vocal cords produce what? Sound. Okay, so just like in the musical instruments, when you vibrate the strings, you can hear the music, isn't it? So in the same way, this larynx contains certain what sound box. Sorry, some voice cords, vocal cords. Okay, so with the help of this vocal cords, only sound is produced. Is it clear? Then, and the amount of air that is passed into the larynx will be controlled by the mouth, okay, parts like teeth, then what, the tongue, okay, lips, etc. control the amount of air that is entering into the larynx. Okay, then this trachea, okay, divides into two, and these are known as bronchi. Okay, what are they? Bronchi. Each of them is known as bronchus. This bronchus enters into the lungs and get divided into a number of branches. These branches are known as bronchioles. Okay, this bronchioles enters into the or again divides to form alveolar ducts, and each alveolar ducts ends in a special balloon-like structure known as alveoli. And these are the real what site for exchange of gases. We have studied, isn't it? That the respiratory surfaces are having certain common features. So the alveoli are the sites in the lungs where actual exchange of gases takes place. They are very thin. Just imagine a blonde balloon. So just like that, okay, their walls are very thin. Okay, and they are provided with a number of blood capillaries. And then lungs, if you see, it's a main respiratory organ, and which is covered by a two-layered membrane known as pleura. Okay, and then you can also see a diaphragm, muscular diaphragm, which is playing a very important role in the process of breathing. Okay, so let's conclude. What are the different parts of respiratory organs system? First is nostrils, nostrils, nasal cavity, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi. Okay, then bronchioles, alveolar ducts and alveoli. Okay, then lungs are the main respiratory organ, and there is a muscular diaphragm. This much part forms the thoracic cavity in the human body. Okay, thoracic cavity. Is it clear? Breathing includes what? Inhalation and exhalation, isn't it? So inhalation means what? The process where the air is taken in, and what exhalation means? The process where the carbon dioxide, okay, rich air is expelled out. Okay, so how this is happening in the human body, that we will see. Okay, so during inhalation, okay, inhalation, what happened? Air is taken in. So during that time, the diaphragm will move downward, and the ribs move upward and outward. Clear? So that the chest cavities volume increases. So if volume increases, what will happen? Pressure decreases. So decreases when compared to the what? To the atmospheric air, isn't it? Pressure decreases when compared to the atmospheric air. So what will happen? Air from the atmosphere moves into the respiratory system, and while moving in, through where it comes? Through nose, nostrils, isn't it? Nasal cavity, pharynx, larynx, trachea, then bronchus, bronchioles, alveolar ducts, and will get filled in the alveoli or alveolar sacs. Okay, so this is the process of what? Inhalation. So what is inhalation? The process whereby the air is taken in. So during this process, what is happening is the diaphragm moves downward and the ribs move upward and outward, so that the chest cavity's volume increases. This decreases the pressure, and due to this, what happened? The air will be sucked in. Is it clear? And during exhalation, what happens? The diaphragm moves or comes back to the original position. Okay, Then what happen? Ribs will come inward and downward. Okay, and volume of the chest cavity decreases, and this increases the pressure, and due to this what will happen? The air will be expelled out from the body. So this is happening during what? During the the inhalation and expiration. So this is what the mechanism of breathing. Okay, how air is taken in and how air is taken out. Is it clear? So I taught you to today some topics like what? Parts of respiratory system of human being, clear, and mechanism of breathing. Is it clear to everyone?